busting my balls, Billy, okay?
I can already tell that I don't like you.
Fuck you, bust on my balls.
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
It might be your first ball job.
Yeah, of course.
How long did it take for the guy to come?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Bustin' Balls. I'm your host, Eric Pennell. Thank you guys for listening. Sorry I haven't done any podcast in a couple weeks. I've been remodeling my house. I have life shit going on. And finally, life slowed down, and I'm sitting down here with the very fucking funny Matt Girdy. And, dude, that's why I wanted to ask you about your last name, because your last name isn't Girdy. Like, it's not Girdy. It's not Girdy.
It's Girdwayne, but no one can say Girdwayne.
Why don't you want to go by Girdwayne? Because that's the only thing. Like, when I was thinking about, saying your last name or something, like, you just that's going to be your stage name is just Matt Girdy, huh?
It's easy. I usually do like Matt Girdy.
I don't understand why you're worried about Girdwayne when there's guys named like Zach Galifianakis or like Jim Gaffigan, and you're like Girdwayne. That's fucking impossible to say.
I used to do Matty G with G-E-E.
Matty G, huh?
Yeah. I don't know. It's just kind of like different names that stand out.
Yeah.
But like Matt Girdwayne, like Matt Girdwayne. No one can even get my last name right.
I don't know, dude. You just make them fucking get your last name right, dude. Or I don't even give a shit, dude. Like when I've had my last name's Pennell, dude, and I grew up with all black dudes in Ohio, and they called me Pennell forever. Like Pennell. They would just call me Pennell. Like they'd be like Pennell, and for many years I would just be like, no, it's Pennell, dude. And then after a while I just gave into it, where it's just like, dude, for probably 5 years I was known as Pennell. Like, I swear to God, Pennell.
What up, dog? Pennell.
Yeah, Pennell. It was Pennell. And then you would just go by, Pennell. And then what's weird, what's weird about nicknames is when you move away from those nicknames, nobody calls you those nicknames anymore. And then you get new nicknames, though. You get like a new thing, though. But, dude, when you move away from those people, like, and you go to a new, well, I haven't had a nickname in a long time, though, but I moved away to like New York for a while, and then I came here. And when you move away, you don't have I didn't have friends for a while. Like, you ever move to a new town? You ever do that?
Well, I just moved to Midlothian. That's a new town.
Well, you're saying you moved from one suburb to like the next suburb and stuff like that. Well, kind of the same thing. But I'm talking about like moving your whole body to where like nobody can even drive 45 minutes to you. Like at least that, like somebody can drive like 45 minutes to you and go, "What's up, dude? You moved 45 minutes away." I'm talking about moving like 7 hours away. 8 hours away, where it's like you don't know nobody.
But even like Midlothian, I feel like I'm in Kentucky because all my neighbors are redneck hillbillies.
Yeah,
everyone is.
Yeah, Which, dude, for me personally though, dude, I like redneck hillbillies because, like, first of all, I got like hillbillies in my family. Like, I got an uncle that lives in West Virginia, my uncle David. This guy's as hillbilly as it gets, dude. I mean, fucking serious, dude. I mean, it's to hear how he talks, hear how he like how he thinks about things. He's definitely backwards as fuck, and but he's funny though. Like if you like some people like how he's so fucking backwards. Like some people, like maybe city people, would really offend him. But to me, it offends me, but it makes me laugh about it. Like some things when you hear him say shit, like I laugh it off because it's harmless to me. Like it's harmless. Like some things that he says, it's like that's harmless. Because first of all, it's harmless to everybody because he doesn't leave his world. He doesn't leave his trailer that he lives in. Okay, I mean, like he ain't gonna leave.
Does he kind of talk like this too? What's going on?
He
man?
Talks for sure. He talks like that, my Uncle David, dude. And he's got his on everything that's like liberal or anything that's probably gay. I'm sure. I don't know like pound for pound like everything he's thinking about, but I got an imagination on like what it really is, dude. But he's a good dude though too. Like you also like if you would hang out with him, you'd be like, oh, that dude's totally normal. But then like you get some drinks in him, and then you go, oh no, this guy right here, who the fuck is this dude?
Motherfucking raccoon. Get him!
I know, dude.
Let him walk away. What the fuck your problem is?
Yeah, he doesn't sound like but dude, dude, like hillbillies and like white trash. Like, well, hold on here, hillbillies I'm down with. White trash,
yeah, white trash.
I don't mix well with white trash because first of all, I just don't. For some reason, white trash, like, because they got, like, low standards that I just don't get down with for some reason. Like, and I got low standards. When my wife first met me, she goes, my wife has told me, like, not word for word, but she goes, I can't even, like, my wife basically told me, like, I can't believe we worked out. Because, like, when I met my wife, I was real wild partying and shit like that. And she was like, I never dated partiers. I had a son by another woman. She was like, I would never have dated somebody with a kid. Or, like, she had all these, like, rules that I, like, sort of, like, she was breaking them for me for some reason, but so I was very trashy to my wife, but like trashy people to me, they're trashier. Like, because I got like I got like low standards, but when people have lower standards than me, I go, fuck that, dude. I can't mess with those motherfuckers. You ever have that? Like where you're around people that are, like it would be like I could do some certain drugs, but then there's certain drugs where I look at and I go, you're a fucking loser because you do those fucking drugs. Like it's stuff like that or it's like you don't fucking pay your bills or you don't work, you're a fucking loser. Like it's not far down from where I'm at, but like people that don't work, I fucking hate those motherfuckers.
Well, it's just like kind of like today, like right before coming here, like what today is like September 9th.
Yeah.
And I'm in the garage, I have my voice recorder on, I'm trying to record some comedy bits on here.
Oh, they're letting off fireworks.
Yeah, and then I'm working on some impressions.
In September.
And I'm working on some impressions. I'm like, sometimes
I know, dude.
in the background. I'm like, are you kidding me? And then the dog's in the garage shaking, all scared.
Your dog doesn't like him either?
Yeah.
It's fucking funny how
shut
dogs.
the hell up down there, Like,
but dude, I just don't know what fucking asshole holds on the fireworks. Well, you know what? It's kind of funny to me though, man, because I could see that you still have fireworks in September. The guy that makes me laugh is the asshole that lets off like a fucking M80 in like February out of nowhere. Like it'd be like 11:30 at night or midnight, and you just hear a boom, and you just like it's just like
your car horns.
It's just like who the yeah. It's like what fucking assholes are drinking, and some asshole goes, "Hey man, let me show you something," or something like that. He's holding back an M80 or two just to fucking, and also to like randomly blow it up because it's even cooler to them when you let one off in like February like 22nd at like 1 a.m. You know what I'm saying? Because it's least expected.
You live by like Midway, right? Like,
oh yeah, so it's a lot of fireworks.
So you hear the planes coming
all
in?
the time. Dude, I see it. I literally see them taking off. Normally, the flight path takes off like right in front of my house, like in the back of my house. In the back of my house, you can see it in my backyard. But then every once in a while, depending on the wind, they'll land right in my backyard area. But dude, I have a large Hispanic population in my neighborhood. My wife's Mexican, but a large Hispanic population, and those motherfuckers love fireworks, dude. And dude, they love motherfuckers that, yeah. Well, dude, you know what's gonna happen is I don't know when it is. When is it? It's
Cinco de Mayo.
No, when's the 10th? When's Independence Day? Because it's coming up, and those motherfucking neighbors of mine, good people, a couple doors down, but they'll hire a band for like 10 hours, and there's just a fucking tuba back there and some other assholes just playing like... Yeah, I know, dude. It's fucking... You gotta like it, otherwise you're just... I remember the first year or two, I'd go, motherfuckers, like, stop. But then after a while, you just go, fuck it, man. They're good people.
I remember it was my friend's birthday party, and it was at this bar with a giant like mariachi band playing.
Yeah.
And all the ladies...
I fucking love mariachi bands.
Yeah, and all the ladies were dancing in the front, and this is like,
Yeah.
when I was single.
Uh-huh.
Make sure my girlfriend's in it.
Oh, you got to look for your girlfriend even at a fucking comedy club, dude.
Single. When I was. But like, so I'm in the club, and then I'm going to some of these girls, I'm talking to them and dancing.
Yeah.
And some of these, this one lady's like, what are you doing here?
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, what do you mean what I'm doing here? And she's like, you're not supposed to be here.
Why?
And like, because I'm the only white guy there.
Well, that's perfect place to be at, dude.
Yeah, and then I turn around and I see all these Spanish guys with cowboy hats, like, the motherfucking gringoni.
I know, dude.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm getting my ass whooped there.
Dude, when they dress like that rancher look and stuff, and they wear the cowboy hats. You know what, dude? I don't know. I would like to know what that looks like on me, because I would like to. I'd like to maybe try that on, but I couldn't take myself serious. I would just be walking around laughing the whole time as I'm walking through and stuff like that with those like nice Stetson hats on, and they look nicely dressed. But first of all, my wife, she's Mexican, and she don't like dudes like that.
Really?
Yeah, that doesn't do it for her. She does not when she sees like Mexican dudes like that, because like I used to make fun of my wife. I still do sometimes, where like I'll bring up her ex-boyfriends, because she dated like a couple ex-boyfriends had like Mexican dudes with thin mustaches and shit like that. Like young dudes with like barely thin. And I used to make fun of that and shit. And but my wife, I could tell that's not her style, because I could see when she'll tell me that, like, Mexican dudes that dress like that, and well, because she's like American, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's straight up American style. She likes motherfuckers that. Who the fuck is calling me right now? Dan Brennan.
Gonna put me on the list right now.
What do you want, Dan Brennan? You cocksucker! I'm doing busting balls with fucking Matt Girdy right here. Let me guess. We're doing Riddles open mic, and you want to get put on the list so you can like fuck around at your house for a little bit longer.
Yeah, buddy, and I'm wearing sweatpants and sandals on stage too.
Don't wear no fucking. This guy wears fucking flip flops on stage, dude.
Dude, I'm not getting out of my fucking pajamas. I'm already relaxed. It's not gonna happen.
Come on, man.
Is he at Chuck E. Cheese right now?
Yeah, he's Chuck E. Cheese managing right now. All right. We're doing a podcast right now, but I'll put you on the list.
Thanks.
All right, buddy. Drive safe. Damn, Brennan, everybody. Yeah. Yeah, so that's man. So Matt, how long you been doing comedy, dude? Because like I never seen you until like 2.5 months ago, and then you were out in the suburbs at some open mic that I went into and you went into, and then I see your fucking chops on stage, and I could tell that like this ain't no new dude. So that's how I knew you weren't a new dude, because you already had like bits and you're polished, and you're not like because you do a lot of like your impersonations and you go into character, but a lot of times when newer guys do that, they don't commit to it, and you commit to it, and you also like dude, you go right into fucking character. So how long have you been doing like comedy since you grabbed a microphone? Has it been a long time?
I've been doing stand-up comedy. I can't even talk. For like 8 years, and then I stopped doing it within
Why?
like
Why'd you
4
stop doing
years
it?
ago. I don't know. I think I got burnt out.
Yeah.
I was going to the city a lot, and all of a sudden, like every time I went down there, I'd be like the fourth or fifth on the list, and everyone would bum me off into like, I don't know.
They'll bump you and stuff like that. And no, dude, that's another thing that people that are listening to this that do comedy or they don't do comedy, like they don't realize like how much of a grind it is, and it will fucking burn you out. I've been burnt out, dude. This is like the 16th year since the first time I grabbed a microphone, and I've been burned out probably 3 or 4 times where. Sometimes sometimes I work through the burnout. Like it might even be more than that, than like 4 or 5 times at least. But sometimes I'll work through the burnout. Like right now, I'm burned out. Like right now, I'm being ran too thin. Right now, I got some shit going on with my personal life with my wife in a good way, and we got a real busy thing going on right now. And then just fucking trying to fix up a house, and I'm real spread thin right now. So I'm a little burned out. I'm not really writing very well because I'm so spread thin right now that I'm not really thinking of comedy like you should be thinking about comedy. But dude, I've been burnt out a bunch. I remember in 2009, I've told this story before, but in 2009 I did the San Francisco comedy competition, and you got to be invited to do that. You got to you submit, but how was it? I think I was introduced to John Fox, the guy that runs it, through another comedian that I worked with that's from Tampa. He did it a couple years before I did it, and he said this guy in Chicago, pretty good. He'd be good for that. They invited me to come out there.
You took a plane down there?
Yeah, I flew out there with my girlfriend, which is my wife now. I was out there for 9 days, and every night you just go to a new venue. They call it San Francisco Comedy Competition, and I don't know how they run it now because it's been around forever, like 30 plus years. I mean, Dane Cook won it when he was at a certain level. Robin Williams won it when he was at a certain level.
Wow.
Doug Stanhope won it when he was at a certain level, and I'm sure a lot of other great comedians won it when they were at a certain level. So I go out there, and every night you're in it. They call it San Francisco Comedy Competition, but it's not always in San Francisco. I think I did 1 or 2 nights in San Francisco, and then every night you're like 3 hours from San Francisco, 2 hours from San Francisco, 4 hours from San Francisco. You literally got to have a rental car, and you got to drive to these places every night. And you go in front of different crowds, and there's like 3 or 4 judges in the audience that will like fucking grade you and shit like that. And so I did that, and I get my ass whooped. I got my ass whooped every night but the last night. I mean, people had their 5-minute sets fucking down. And, well, dude, I remember the first night I was at the Purple Onion. It's like this, I don't even know if it's still around anymore, but like fucking Richard Pryor did that, like the Purple Onion, and it's a real popular place, and I think it's shut down. And it's a little place. It's a little place in downtown San Francisco. And I remember I was way up in the back corner. It's a little place, but I was in the back corner up these steps with my girlfriend, which is my wife now. And they put up about 5 people before me, there's 5 people before me, and every one of them bombed. Bomb, nothing really, bomb. And there's one dude right before me, and I told my wife, I seen this dude go up, and I go, if this motherfucker doesn't do well, I'm going to fucking rip this place off. I'm going to rip it off. I just felt it. I felt it. Like I was like, I'm going to rip this place off. And then he goes up and starts talking about fucking unicorns and shit, and just rips the fucking place up. I swear to God, he starts talking about unicorns and fucking like fairy dust and shit, and they fucking loved it. And then I go up there, and it just was like, it was okay. It was okay. It wasn't great. It was not great at all. It was okay. And then that night didn't go well, and then I just did 7 or 8 nights that didn't go well, and then the 8th night I did okay. I did really well the 8th night. I only did 1 good night. There's some good venues too, man. I did the fucking Napa Opera House, like fucking beautiful venues.
Did you record all this stuff like recorded? Did you record like your sets? All these places?
I don't think so. I wish I would have. I wasn't thinking like that, dude. I don't know why. I'm so unprofessional throughout my fucking comedy career. I wish I would have documented a lot of it. I have some stuff, that I never put up, but I mean, not a lot of it. You would think like some fucking asshole young millennial that they would record every fucking thing, a piece of it. I wish I did. I didn't think like that. But I got my ass whooped at that, long story short. And then a week later, after I come back from that, the next weekend, I go to Detroit to do some fucking feature gig that I was trying to get for a year and a half. I swear to God, I emailed Yoder for fucking Yoder, John Yoder's fucking company, Funny Business, for a year trying to get this gig, right? He finally gives it to me, and then I still have to wait another 6 months. Well, I fucking get my ass whooped in San Francisco a week later, or I come back from that weekend, I go to Detroit to do this gig that I've been waiting a year and a half for. And it's Thursday night, and they go, we're about to start the show. I look in the audience. There's like 4 people in the audience. I swear to God, there's 2 of the oldest people. It would be like a 6-top where there's 4 people at. There's 2 of the oldest people you ever seen in your life and 2 bikers. And I go, I can't believe it like hit me like a ton of bricks. I go, I tried to get this gig for a year and a half, and this is what it is on a Thursday night. And I get my ass whipped in San Francisco, and then days later I'm getting my ass whipped on a Thursday night in Detroit. And then I did the Friday and Saturday night shows in Detroit, and it was fine. It went well, and it was like normal shows. But it was such, dude, it burnt me out. That was the first time that I think I walked away bloody from comedy, where I go, I'm fucking.
How long have you been doing stand-up comedy for?
16 years, man.
16 years. Okay.
Yeah, since the first time I graduated. I started late. I started when I was like 27. I was always, dude, I had stage fright at first. I didn't know. I grew up in Akron, Ohio. There wasn't a lot of places to go to. It's not like now. Like now, people are, they're kind of spoiled, man. There's a lot of scenes in different places where there's like 5 open mics in nowhere land now. Back in the day, it wasn't like that where I grew up in the Akron, Cleveland area. I mean, it really wasn't, dude. I mean, maybe if you were more well established and you knew rooms where you could do comedy, but when you were starting out, it wasn't like that, man. It was really hard.
I actually rented this book from the library. It's all the history of comedy clubs in Chicagoland area, like the Comedy Castle, this and that, all these great places.
Yeah. That sounds like a cool book.
Yeah, man, you should definitely check it out.
Yeah.
And it tells you all the history about it too. Because one of these days, I want to open up my own comedy club.
Yeah,
but who knows by then? With the kids these days.
Who knows, dude? I just wonder if young people are still if they'll eventually keep going to comedy clubs because they're getting their humor off Netflix and whatever.
Exactly.
I mean, but I do see that like when you want to go see Anthony Jeselnik or something like that, that it's like, yeah, that's never going to go away probably. I mean, unless they have a new way to do it.
But it's like, you want to go to my house, Netflix and chill? Okay, I got But who knows what these kids do? Who knows, right? Who knows?
Who knows? Because right now, dude, I mean, it's hard to weigh out because right now, comedy is there's a large fan base of people that love comedy and that do it and also just enjoy it. So who knows what they're going to do with it?
Well, even that new Joker movie, I guess, like he's a stand-up comedian that fails.
Oh, is that what that's supposed to be? I didn't know he was going to be a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, so I guess that might bring people in. And then even a new It movie that came out, I guess Bill Hader's character, he's a stand-up comedian.
Oh, really?
And he fails. So a lot of people probably see this like, I want to be a comedian now, so.
They don't realize how hard, well, it just depends. It depends on how funny you are and how good your business is and how much your hustle is, and you got to be mentally strong. But that's what will burn you out. Like you say you burned out and stuff like that. Like that was the first time I burned out, and then there is other little burnouts.
Well, one thing got me really extremely motivated. I drove 2 hours and a half to Madison, Wisconsin for this showcase, open mic showcase on a Wednesday.
We're on State Street?
Yeah.
I used to do state comedy on State Street a lot.
Yeah, it was a great room. Mm-hmm. And but I signed up for the list, first on the list.
Uh-huh.
And all of a sudden, me and my brother John went to Plainfield, and we were doing paranormal ghost hunting around like Ed Gein's farmland. And so it really weirded me out. I'm like, I don't think I want to do comedy now. I feel fucking weird doing this. So then we drove back to Madison, and so anyway, I go in there, and like I'm still first on the list. They're like, oh yeah. So anyway, the show starts. Comedian goes on stage. Comedian goes on stage. Another comedian goes on stage. I go to the guy. I'm like, what happened? I thought I was first on the list. Yeah, we had a lot of comedians, and we actually have an open mic across the street after the showcase. So if you want to go over there and perform, I'm like,
yeah.
But I drove all over here. But here's the thing. And then they had an intermission break, and then the stage was open, and my brother's like, hey man, open mic.
Yeah.
Open mic comedy. So I go up there and I'm like, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. So doing some Christopher Walken, and then all of a sudden the owner he's in the back room, like,
Yeah.
get the fuck off the stage.
Gus?
Yeah, I don't know his name. I was like,
Yeah, Greek dude, right?
I was like, this is Stone Cold Steve Austin. Keep flapping your gums. I'm going to whoop your ass. If you want Stone Cold to whoop his ass, give me hell yeah. And people were like, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So then they cut off my microphone. And I was like, whatever. So
Uh-huh.
I get off the stage. I'm saying bye to all the comedians. I'm getting the fuck out of here. Fuck this.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he goes up to me. He's like, hey, man, what's your name? And I think I was like, Matty G. You know, and he puts me back on a list, and I get to perform like one of the last guys of the show. And I had nothing planned, really.
Yeah.
But I killed every impression. Everyone's like, oh.
Yeah.
But I was so high, I don't even remember driving home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, high on drugs or just high just because you were on stage?
Well, high from the laughter. Everyone's like,
Yeah. Yeah, it is weird like that, man. Well, that's another thing that people don't realize, like the bullshit you got to do when you do comedy. Like, it's like eating shit. And there's some kind of pecking order to like some shit when you walk in the room sometimes, which it shouldn't be like that. But I get why it's kind of like that, though, because most people that are going to come in with their chest out and they're newer, it's like, I don't know, dude. You know, I get it. You got confidence, but when you get up there, you got nothing. But so I get that and stuff. But, dude, you're eating shit all the time. Like, I've eaten shit until, like, you get to the point where you go, I'm not eating shit no more. Like, I'm not kissing your ass. I've been in rooms with, like, I've opened up for, like, Robert Kelly type dudes, and you're in the room with, like, you know, I've been in green rooms with like other like big comics, and you kind of got to be like, they're the big comic, and don't piss them off because you don't want him to say something to the owner or the club manager, and then you won't come back again and blah blah blah. Like there's some fucking bullshit, dude, with comedy. I mean, and that's just one angle of it. Not even talking about the politics or the club owners that might not like you, or they're trying to fucking not pay you as much, or at the end of the week when they go to settle up with you, they're just like, yeah, we only made this much money. And
I used to work at a Fair Play grocery store over here.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like, my manager, his name is like Matt Miller, and he's not funny at all. He went to the Second City, and so he got himself an agent, and he actually opened up for what's his name, Brian Regan.
Yeah, Brian Regan.
In
very funny guy
at the Chicago Theater.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, how the hell? This guy's not even funny. How the hell did he open up for this?
He's got a manager or something like that.
He got an agent.
Yeah.
You know, so like everyone's like, hey, Matt, get an agent.
I know,
and I was
which sounds so easy. Which sounds so easy to get like an agent or a manager.
Yeah,
right? Some people make it that way though. Some people, they know. Well, this is one trick to it. Is where like some people, that's what they get. They get a manager and agent, and they're on that. They get that, and you go, whoa, they got a manager and agent. You know, you hear about so and so because they got their business down. Or some people will. They just burrow in a comedy club, and they just, they'll go to a comedy club and they hang out there every week as many days as you can, and then the comedy club they buddy up with whoever the manager or the owner is, and then eventually they work their way in that way. That's one way to do it. I mean, I think they're both good ideas, but I do see the people that get managers and agents. I feel like they're getting those before they even have the talent. They have some talent. They seem to be the smarter ones, dude. Because I'm serious. Like, I seen Megan Gailey get an agent and a manager pretty quick, and I remember seeing her power and her talent on stage. And nothing against her. She's a powerhouse comedian now, and she's got a great resume. But at the time when she was getting that, it didn't seem like, whoa, that doesn't match up. But she's a smart woman. She's seen where her career was going to go, and she's seen where she could take it. So she believes in herself, and she's seen that. So and that's just an example. It's there's others too. I mean, I bet if I look through some headshots to be like, oh yeah, this dude too that was local that did that. But there's been a few. There's been a couple women. There's been a couple women like that.
You have headshots?
I do have headshots, but they're like what I've taken headshots. Like, I got a camera with me, and they're not great headshots. I've had better headshots when I first started about maybe 10 years ago, and paid pretty good money for that. But then nowadays I'm so cheap where I go, fuck that. I'd just rather buy like an $800 camera, and I'll just fucking take the shots and stuff. I don't, because I mean, I don't know, dude. I feel like headshots now, they've changed a bit. Because if you look at some people's headshots when they're on websites, you're like, that's an iPhone picture. A lot of times now it's like social media pictures where it ain't like back in the day when you see like we're here at Riddle's Comedy Club on a Monday night about to do the open mic, and you could see like Nick DiPaula headshots on the walls outside, and DC Benny type headshots, Robert Kelly headshots. I feel like headshots have changed a bit now. They don't
like. I have no headshots, but I want to like do some like goofy ones, like
yeah,
like, oh, this,
like face weird face.
Yeah,
stuff
this guy looks funny. Like, You know, so somebody like, hey, he looks funny.
Well, I just
He's
don't think.
funny
I think
looking.
you know, back in the day when you'd have to do like a colored headshot or a black and white headshot, and it'd have to be almost like you're sending it to like a commercial agent. Yeah, do I think those probably need to still be for most comics, maybe, but like. I don't know, man. You just need a fucking goofy picture of you that people go, oh, that's the dude. You know, unless you're fucking Bill Burr or like somebody else that's like you got to be super recognizable to go, oh, yeah, we're going to go see that dude. I feel like most people don't even know who most comics are. Like unless you're plugged into comedy, dude. You ever talk comedy with people and like because I've asked people this all the time. Like if they bring it up, where I go, you listen, you like comedy? Like what comedians have you seen or who do you like? Who made you laugh when you were growing up? And they always name like the weirdest motherfuckers. Where I go, whoa, they don't. I like that.
Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah, when you hear people saying Ellen DeGeneres, where I go, who the fuck likes Ellen DeGeneres? Like you know, and I know again, I'm sure she slays and stuff like that, but like her catalog, what part of her catalog are you going to? Like, because what was it, 1988, 1991? I mean, it's been 35 years. I think she just dropped a Netflix special, but I don't know. I mean, I didn't hear anybody talking about her Netflix special like I heard people talking about Chappelle's Netflix special. You know?
I actually went to FYI, or FYE, whatever it's called. I think FYI, right?
I don't know what that is.
That DVD store and music and all that.
Oh, yeah. That's always in the malls and shit.
They had a $2 bin, and it was Bob Saget, and then it was Roseanne.
Yeah.
So I bought both of them.
Which is not bad, because Bob Saget, dude, look, you got to respect him, dude, his career. I remember Bob Saget when he was on Rodney Dangerfield's Young Comedian special. And I remember when Roseanne was on there. Dude, Roseanne, dude, people hate on Roseanne. But dude, she's probably one of the most successful female comedians, if not successful comedians ever. I mean, she's up there, dude. I mean, dude, the show Roseanne, when it first came out, that was a fucking giant hit. And if that was your show or my show, we'd be real proud of that. If that's what we created that, and that was it. Or if that was your sister, you'd be like, when Roseanne was Roseanne when she was younger, you'd be like, dude, she's the fucking best. You would represent her like a motherfucker. But Bob Saget, I don't know. I mean, he's funny. He's he's got all the money in the world.
Yeah.
America's Got Videos and shit, or whatever that is. And then he did the fucking with the Olsen twins and shit, dude. With all that shit in syndication, they made so much money off that, man.
Well, like even his material, I don't think his material is like he seems not planned. He's like, hey, you have sex with goats. Yeah, he likes having sex with goats. This guy over here, this guy has a small cock right here.
Yeah.
So he's just kind of like,
but you don't expect him to say that. That's the funny thing about Bob Saget is I guess people didn't expect him since he's Bobby Tanner or whatever, Danny Tanner, and you didn't expect him to say that. You know, and that's what's so good about Bob Saget. But who are some of your favorite comics growing up, dude? Like when you were a little dude, who were you liking?
Well, the first comedy special that I seen was like Dana Carvey on Comedy Central.
Yeah, dude. You know what? I don't ever think about Dana Carvey a lot, but he has made me laugh over the years, man. Like a lot. You know, he's a silly dude, man. Like, first of all, when he was on SNL, I mean, when he was Church Lady, I'm old enough to remember when he was Church Lady and shit, and that stuff was very funny, man.
He's in that special.
Dude, you know, the Wayne's World shit was funny. He did that movie with Richard Pryor, Moving, where he was all those characters and shit like that. That was funny. I mean, dude, Dana Carvey, somehow he got forgot about. Maybe he did it on himself where he kind of disappeared and evaporated for a little bit. But dude, that dude is a powerhouse, and he's a comic genius, man. I mean, he's up there, man.
Yeah, he's up there. He inspired me. I remember like when I was a little kid, I popped in a VHS tape. It was Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah.
And Jack me nimble, Jack me.
I know.
Oh, so he's doing all a bit. And I'm a kid. I'm like, what is the hell? So I remember watching the tape for a little tiny bit. And I took it out. And then as I got older, I found the tape again. I popped it in and watching it. So
it's funny.
It was Dice Clay. And Dana Carvey, but mostly it was Farley, Chris Farley.
Really?
You know, and again Jim Carrey and all that.
Well, Jim Carrey was giant. I mean, Farley was giant too, man.
Yeah, because I used to watch a lot in Living Color.
Oh, me too, dude. It was so good, and it's forgotten about. I feel like through like a certain generation because it wasn't there for them. But dude, it was so funny. I mean, all of them were funny. David Allen Greer, Damon Wayans. Yeah. I mean, Jim Carrey stole the fucking show and made a ton of money off it. I mean, they all made good money. But I mean, obviously Jamie Foxx. I mean, they were so funny on that, dude. I mean, it was. I wonder what years those were that matches up to SNL years. Like what? Because I feel like SNL, they faded SNL real quick during those years, and then when Living Color went away, then I felt like SNL popped back his head back up with like Adam Sandler. I bet. I wonder what years that was when Living Color was at its height. Because I would almost bet that when Living Color was crushing it, SNL was down a bit. And then when, let me see here, Living Color.
Yeah, because Saturday Night Live at the time too, just kind of like, because there was so much press going on saying that Farley wasn't funny and Sandler wasn't funny and Saturday Night Live is going to go out of business and this and that. And
it hasn't gone out forever, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, how long has Saturday Night Live been going on for? I mean, it's fucking forever.
78?
Yeah, a long time, dude. A long time, and it's still fucking going strong, dude. So you're saying, so this is, okay, so from April 15th, 1990 to May of 94. So yeah, and then when was like Adam Sandler cast for SNL is what I want to know, because I feel like that
it was 90.
It was 90.
Dana Carvey, Phil Hartman, they were like the biggest stars of 90 and 91, and then 92. That's when Farley came in, and then Sandler, and then Spade was not a main star yet. And then you brought in Mike Myers, and then you still had the powerhouses of Phil Hartman. And
yeah, so they did have hitters then, because it was in 1990. It was Farley, Carvey, Myers, Sandler, Nealon, Hartman, Spade, Miller, Rock, Meadows. So they weren't even. You wouldn't even. Yeah, Molly. Yeah, I mean it was Snyder. Like they weren't even faded at all from that, dude. But I don't know. Maybe is that what you're saying? How like at the time though they thought that it was fading then, right? Isn't that what they were saying that
Yeah, they said that, this new cast is not as good as Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd and.
Well, arguably yes. I mean, yeah. I mean, is it better than fucking Dan Aykroyd and like? I mean, but that was also different, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it's different. That was brand new, and it was a brand new thing. And it's.
Have you been watching Saturday Night Live now?
No, I cannot.
It's awful.
I cannot click on it, dude, just because it's. I can't support it because I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't get it. Again, I feel like it's. But again, I know what they're doing. They're aiming it for like younger people. I'm old. I'm 43 years old, man. I mean, they're aiming it for like kids that are like of age that they can watch it on the late night at home, or like maybe college kids or something like that. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know who the fuck is watching SNL. It's probably the same demographic that's been watching it forever.
I watched it recently, a lot of the new cast. I'm like, man, this ain't funny. I could write some good sketches right now. Like, there's no good characters. Just like Dana Carvey, he's just like, not gonna do it.
Yeah.
And you got all these goofy characters. Or taking a politician or taking like a celebrity and just over exaggerate the character.
Besides the Trump thing, I don't feel like they've had a character that clearly they haven't made any movies about SNL characters of lately. I mean, so does that tell you that like the characters aren't that great? Because I mean, dude,
the last one was MacGruber,
and that wasn't that great of a hit. I mean, that was people like that, but like. It wasn't fucking Wayne's World. They didn't do a part 2 of MacGruber, right? Where they like, it wasn't Wayne's World. It wasn't like, I mean, I think they wanted Night at the Roxbury to be funnier and stuff like that. But
they made the Pat movie. Have you seen the movie Pat?
Dude, Pat. I don't even know if you could do Pat nowadays, right? Because it's so fucking where it's like.
I've seen the Pat at Menards.
Oh, dude, I see a Pat every day in Chicagoland, dude. They're growing. Pats are now growing, dude. But you know what? But you know what though, Pat? Like that's so funny how like the whole thing of Pat, where it's like, what is she? Is she a guy or no? She's a fucking girl. Like, dude, like even lesbians now, dude, and chicks that try to dress like dudes, they're not fooling me at all. I see them and go, chick. Like, even for a second where I go, oh, they got the hair down and they're doing something where, oh, they look tough looking. They look tough. Chick, it's still a chick. They got girl, because there's something in my DNA as a guy where I could see it. I see it where it's like me being a male deer up on the hill and I see a female deer that's trying to look like a male deer. I go, no, that's a female deer. Like, I just know that's a female deer. It's something weird in the DNA. I see it all the time. So yeah, I see Pats all the time. Long story short, I wonder if people see that because we live in Chicago. Like we live in Chicago. I do ride share, so I drive up and down streets all the time. In Chicago, you see a lot of people like walking on the streets. I just wonder if in like other towns, do you see a lot of Pats walking around? I wonder if the numbers got to be lower. It's less people, less Pats.
Well, I went to a drive-in theater in Indiana called 49ers Drive-In.
That's cool. They still got a drive-in theater, dude.
Yeah, and this pickup truck pops out, and all of a sudden, like, this kid looks like Justin Bieber / like Eminem.
But it's the chick though.
But like first of all, I was like, is that a boy or is that a girl? What
It's
is
a girl.
that? And I'm looking at it for a while. And
I've seen that look on chicks here.
And then she has little boobies. So I was like, oh,
with
okay,
a
it's
sports
girl.
bra on. She's got a sports
Yeah.
bra. She's taping her tits down or wearing something tight for her tits. She's wrapping it with an ace bandage or whatever.
Yeah, and then the woman she's with is like, what?
Well, you know why? Because as soon as you tell me it looks like Eminem and Justin Bieber, like that's hitting two of the boxes. Because I've seen like chicks, lesbian chicks here that have that same look. Because that's like, you know, that's Eminem is the cool, like misunderstood, like white guy, and Justin Bieber's the pretty white boy. You know what I'm saying? Likes to dance, so she's like it's. I got you figured out, you cunt. I already got him. I got him already figured out, dude. That's like when I see people like I guess not all people, but like shit like that, I could size you up where it's like I know your fucking story and I don't even need to know your fucking story. I know what you're doing. I see what angle you. Well, especially when people are trying to get pussy. When I see people trying to get. You know, that's how I could tell like sometimes that's how I could tell sometimes dudes are cheating. Like dudes are cheating and stuff. Like I'll see like husbands in the neighborhood or like people that are like friends of ours and stuff like that where I'll tell my wife, I go, that motherfucker's cheating, and she'll go, how do you know? What are you saying? I don't think so. And I'm like, no, he's wearing this and that type of clothes, or she's wearing that. Look how she's got her tits out and she's got 2 kids. Why she got her tits out now? She's never have her tits out. You know, like there's like weird little signs. Like I can't read everybody, like because you know I'm not gonna say I read everybody, but I'm good at like sizing up like reading people. I don't know if that's because I did customer service for so many years, or I do stand up comedy where you read people. Like I could read people pretty quick. Like if they hate me, I could read people when they don't like me. Where I go, okay, motherfucker, I got you. Like 'cause I know I'm not for everybody. You ever meet that? You ever meet? Because I assume because you're a fucking character that people they don't all love you.
Well, I get vibes from people.
Yeah, you get vibes,
and I have like good vibes, and some people are just kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, they don't want to.
Kind of
well, cause especially you, man. Like, dude, Matt Girdy, this motherfucker is silly as fuck, and he's funny as fuck. But I could, because I see it with me, where you meet like regular citizens in the world that they're not silly. They don't know they don't know how to handle like a silly, funny dude. Where it's like, why are you always? Even my wife, when I first met her, and we got a little bit deeper in our relationship, and. I think I told you this on the phone, where she'll go like, can you ever be serious? And I'm like, bitch, I am serious. I didn't say bitch, but I'm like, I am serious. I'm just dropped a joke in there. It's not. This is just how I am. This is no. I don't like being serious all the time. I don't like right now. I'm in a funk because I got a bunch of shit going on in my life. I'm not writing a lot of jokes because I'm a serious guy all the time. And I don't like being serious guy. I like being funny. I like being silly. I like having fucking fun in life and laughing. I don't want to be, but some people that come across you or come across me and other comedians and people that are funny, they don't like that shit. They like being serious. They like being responsible. Women like moms and dads and shit, you know.
Well, like my family, everyone likes joking around. Everyone likes, like not being serious, and like going around everywhere. And sometimes I go to like, Walmart checkout or Dollar Tree, and then I'll say some stuff that's like really like goofy, and then like I was like, "Do you guys still get any more nutty bars?
Yeah,
nut rolls. It's called a nut roll, and it's really good. It's like nuts covered candy bar.
Yeah.
She's like, a nut roll. I was like, never had a nut roll before. I never had a nut roll, and I'm like, you could try it. It's salty.
Yeah,
but it's so random. It's like maybe I definitely try a nut roll.
Yeah. It's funny how like I know what you're saying, dude, because same thing. You try to get silly with other people. That's what's good about comedians hanging around comedians, because they know where most likely they're coming from. They're just fucking around, and everything's light. And when you're around most people, they're fucking, it's not light, it's serious, and they're walking around like, I'm trying to be responsible. And but dude, I got to get out of here, dude. I'm glad I popped your cherry on this, dude. Matt Girdy, how can they fucking find you on Instagram or like fucking Twitter? Or
you could find me on YouTube at VCPops3434 or type in Stone Cold ET.
Yeah, this dude was Stone Cold ET, and I didn't know that, dude. And I swear to you, man, I'm not lying. My wife knows that I found your video Stone Cold ET probably. Because what year did you do that? Because I asked you. Was it 12? You said 2012?
Yeah, it's 2012.
I probably found it probably 5 to 7 years ago. 5 or 6 years ago, and I remember watching it, laughing my ass off a bunch of times, dude. That's why it's so funny that like I ran into you like years later, and it's weird how the whole world I run into you that did that video that made me laugh. And dude, when I met you again like a couple months ago, and then you told me that like last week, I still probably watched that video like 10 times laughing at it. And I've showed like 4 people it, like where I'm like, you never seen this video, and they're like, no, what? And dude, I showed a dude it the other day, a young dude. and he laughed his fucking ass off. So if anybody wants to know about Matt, dude, just look up fucking Stone Cold ET and where he's going through a.
Maybe I could share more stories in the next podcast.
That's right, dude. I got to get off the podcast because we're about to start the podcast or the open mic in 2 minutes, and I want to get it going at 8 o'clock. So, Bustin' Balls Podcast on Instagram, Eric Pennell Comedy on Instagram. Guys, if you like the podcast, please share it. I do appreciate that. And if you don't like the podcast, you can fucking blow me. I don't give a shit. And, guys, thank you for listening.